This is the MMD Holy Panda switches, a somewhat budget tactile that is inspired by the Holy Pandas. So how do they sound and feel? Let's find out. But first, a quick message to our channel sponsor, PcbWay. PcbWay is your one-stop shop for all your prototyping needs, and let me tell you about their new service called One Stop Solution, or OEM. They now offer a full contract manufacturing service, including product design, product development, and even engineering validation, and many more. To learn more about this service, head over now to pcbway.com and prototype the easy way with PcbWay. Links in the description. What's going on, guys? Ox here, and welcome back to my channel. We are back with another Switch review that nobody asked for, and today we'll be taking a look and listen at the MMD Holy Pandas. As mentioned, the Switches was inspired by the Holy Panda, and as you can see, they do resemble the same colors. So they have a 62-gram bottom out force and is using a PC or a polycarbonate and nylon combination for the Switch housings. And by the way, the switches were sent by Keebzilla for a review, but I wasn't paid to make the video and they didn't see the script for this video. Of course, I'll give you guys my honest and unbiased opinion about the switches, and all of their links would be on the description down below. So in today's video, it will be the usual stock versus lube comparison, a Soundtest comparison versus the other tactile switches, and of course a material breakdown. If you want to hear my own thoughts and opinion about the switch, please do stick around at the end of the sound test. And speaking of sound test, let me give you guys a quick disclaimer before we start. That the sound and experience may vary depending on your keyboard build, meaning to say that it might sound and feel different on your board. We will of course be using the Vega 65 with a polycarbonate plate, a PCB to plate foam, and one case foam. The switches was lubed with a Tribosys 3203 and 205 grade 0 on the springs. The keycaps that was used on the sound test was a dummy key set. And now, with all of that out of the way, please do enjoy the sound test for the MMD Holy Panda. So that was the sound test on the MMD Holy Pandas. Let me know what you think about them on the comment section down below. Feel free to type them in. And before we talk about my own thoughts and opinion about the Switch, you already know what's next. Let's break down the materials that was used on the Switch. As you can see, this is a 3-pin switch and is using an MX style housing. So we have polycarbonate on the top housing, nylon on the bottom housing, and of course we have POM on the stems. Lastly, the springs with a 62-gram bottom out force. That was a material breakdown on the MMD Holy Pandas, and if you made it up to this point, I would like to say thank you for staying, and again, reminding you that the sound and experience may vary depending on your keyboard build, so it might feel and sound different on your end. Now let's all talk about my thoughts on the feel. Well, as usual, I didn't really like the stock feeling on the switches, and honestly, I don't prefer using tactiles in stock. I can really feel the leaf crunch on stock, and don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean it's unusable, but for my preference, stock is not it, although there was no noticeable scratchiness on the switches. So I lubed mine with a Tribosys 3203 and only focusing on the rails and slightly going through the stems, avoiding the legs to keep the tactility. So this has a somewhat rounded bump feeling, and the tactility isn't that sharp or harsh. I mean, you can feel the bump early to mid before bottoming out. You can consider that this is a medium to heavy tactile as it has a 62-gram bottom out force. I can say that some of you might find it heavy at first, but give it a day or two, you should be fine and get used to it. I can say that these have a decent tactile feel, it's not too sharp and not too light. Moving on to my thoughts on the sound. On stock, of course, it sounded a bit all over the place since you can hear some lisping and crunch. There's also a little bit of spring ping, but unlike my opinion on the stock feeling, the sound on stock is a bit passable for me, but again, I always lube my switches. Once lubed, it sounded much better and you can clearly hear the tactility on the switches. So it has that subtle clacky tactile sound profile, and it's not that high pitch or not that low pitch. Now for a sound of a tactile, it's just right on the middle, which I really prefer on my build. So overall, this is a pretty decent budget tactile. It sounds really nice and feels nice for what they are, but sadly, I can't really comment on how they compare versus the Holy Pandas, as I haven't tried them out yet. Maybe sometime in the future, we can revisit this once I've tried the Holy Pandas. But yeah, if you are looking for a new tactile to try, I do suggest checking out the MMD Holy Pandas. It will be a pretty nice pickup. And honestly, I am surprised with MMD switches. The creams are nice, but one thing that I would like to see from them is release something original in terms of their naming, like naming their switches. Like, come on, MMD creams for the novelty creams and MMD Holy Pandas. Maybe come up with a different name, but let's see what they have to bring for the next line of switches. So that is it for the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the review and found this helpful. If you do, please don't forget to like the video as it really helps out my small channel. Again, shout out to Keebzilla for sending over the switches. All of the links would be on the description down below. What's next? Well, we still have 2 Kinetic Lab switches to review and more KTT switches. I'm also planning to review some budget keyboards as well, so better watch out for that. Again, please don't forget to like the video, share if you want, and of course, subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys on the next sound test. Peace.